What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age 2. Now, we don't really have much left to do here in terms of Act 1. If we take a look at our quest, you'll see we have a couple rumors, which are all in front of us. Relay, we can get 2 of them done today. I'm not sure about Act of Mercy, or that can't be followed up at this time. So we have 2 quests left, and we're going to get both those done, hopefully, this episode. So, we have Wayward Son. According to Varric, the Templars have been actively hunting for a young man named Feynriel. His mother, Arianni, lives in Lowtown's elven alienage and has been seeking help. And Varric will actually pick up these rumors with, when he's hanging out in the Hangman pub or talking to his contact, he's going to pick up these kind of things and he'll send it our way in stages too. So he's trying to look into this. This is about a group of mages being transported from Starkhaven that hasn't showed up yet. He's looking into this currently. And then Shepherding Wolves is... Varric's contacts say that a Chantry sister has been flashing coin around Lowtown, fishing for help with some unnamed problem. Details are light, but it may have something to do with the Canary. He recommends checking for her in Lowtown. So, as I say, we will probably get both those done this episode, depending on how long Feynriel takes, I guess, but right now, I don't already look at the tree. I thought I already grabbed the Feynriel Codex.
Madam, we'll do our best to find your son. But I cannot guarantee his safety if he continues to resist Templar jurisdiction.
He's just a boy.
Interesting. So she petitioned the Templars. And you see how very nice this Templar has been about that, about resisting jurisdiction. He's not saying that he's gonna slap him in irons and take him to the headsman's axe. He's trying to convince them.
I am sorry for your loss, mistress. But I can offer your son mercy only if he turns himself in.
I'm trying to find him, but...
The Templars cannot tolerate apostates.
It seemed very reasonable, to be honest.
It sounds like your son is in trouble. Is there anything I can do?
You heard all of that and still you would help? An apostate? Oh, thank you.
Not afraid of that.
I am Arianni. My boy, Feynriel. He's all I have. All my family. When I learned he had magic, I could not bear to send him to the Circle. But his connection to the Fade, it gives him nightmares. Dreams of demons speaking in his mind. I would rather lose him to the Circle than to himself.
You see, unlike a lot of people who don't understand the situation the mages are put in, which is fair or unfair, you can't resolve the issue, right? A lot of people will be like, no, it's my baby boy, I can lock him in the closet and no one will ever have to know, like the girl in Redcliffe did. The old Legion. But this one, she understands, and now she's like, okay, this has gone too far. I would rather he go to the Circle than be possessed. It's clearly become a target for demons, so you guys gotta do what you gotta do.
Did your son run away?
He learned I had contacted Ser Thrask. He felt I betrayed his trust. He thinks he can live free of the Circle, but I am afraid without proper training, he'll kill himself.
Those look like Dalish tattoos. Why do you live in the city?
I was born to the Dalish, but came to Kirkwall for a time and dallied with a human merchant, Vincento.
We know Vincento.
I was with child.
He's the guy by the steps, peddling wares.
I wished the burden of an elf-blooded human infant. I raised Feynriel myself, here in the alienage.
And the father's just not interested in supporting.
Tell me the whole story.
I learned years ago that my son likely had magical talent, but we could not bear the thought of him locked in the gallows. So we hid. When the
That was all this time.
Feynriel still refused to contact the Circle, but I truly think they are the only people who might save his life.
I mean, to full disclosure, she's just lucky he hasn't lost his mind and slaughtered everybody in the alienage, given how she handled this situation.
What kind of dreams is he having?
He dreams of demons, crawling to him, pulling him into their world. Every day, it grows harder to wake him. That is why I turned to the Circle. They are the only ones that can protect a mage from his own powers.
Well, I do have 2 mages in the party. They might be able to assist in some way.
What exactly do you need me to do?
Just find him, please. Bring him somewhere safe. I don't know where Feynriel is gone, but there are 2 places you might start your search. Ser Thrask has been looking for him. If you speak to him in the gallows, he'll be able to tell you what ground he's already covered. And Feynriel's father, Vincento, recently returned from Antiva. He's a merchant in the...
Yeah, we know Vincento.
Feynriel might have sought him out.
Tell me about this Templar.
I believe he's a good man. He doesn't hate mages.
He seemed to be.
Sees what it took me too long to realize. Even the best-intentioned mages are at the mercy of their sleeping minds.
Correct.
There are other Templars who are much less sympathetic.
You see, she gets it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't treat mages like, I don't know, like garbage because of it, but they have an inherent risk to them that they or us can't do anything about, and so you have to act accordingly. Life's not fair. I know it sucks, but it still is what it is, right?
You and Feynriel's father are not married?
Vincento had no desire for a wife or an elf-blooded child. I haven't seen him since the day I told him. I have written, though, to keep him informed about his child. Feynriel wanted to meet him.
Yeah, grimy Antivan merchant, just slinging dick on his travels.
I will not leave you fearful for a moment longer than necessary.
He ought to have his own life. Out from the shackles of the Circle. Everyone should.
Thank you. It has been a lonely time hiding. It's almost a relief to finally confront this openly.
Oh, we're gonna have a decision to make in this quest, I imagine. Yeah, man, it sucks, especially because he's a child, but at the end of the day, he is what he is, and him nor I can change that, so he needs to get some kind of hope. Well, it should be the Circle, because they're the ones that are most adept in dealing with all this. But there are other options too, if they present themselves. There is other forms of education. I mean, we do know of a certain Dalish clan that's down a mage. They have two in every clan, and the one that Merrill is from currently only has one mage, so maybe we could give him to the Dalish.
Greetings, Sarah. You look like a man who'd be interested in the finest Antivan.
He is technically Dalish, so...
I bring only the best northern merchandise to the free marches.
That would be in keeping up with tradition to give him to the Dalish.
Actually, I'm more interested in your son.
Son? I have never had that privilege, Sarah. My poor wife, she's back in Antiva and cannot see me often with my travels.
Yeah, I'm talking about the other women.
Has not ruined the day with such weight.
Fly me fuck.
Perhaps I could show you my silks.
Perhaps you could show me where your son is and make up for that.
You abandoned your son at birth. If you regret this at all, help me save him now.
There's no man in Kirkwall who is friend to an elf blood mageling. A smile won't buy my trust.
There's a...
I do not wish to discuss my personal life. Let me know if you want to see my wares.
What a scumbag. Also, I have two mages next to me, you sick fuck. I don't know. The whole, like, abandoning his son. Like, whether or not he's a mage, you owe your son. He's from you. He's 50% you. You should at least be... You're a traveling merchant. I know you got some coin. You have your family living in an alienage slum. Dirtbag. I detest deadbeat fathers like that.
Are you the Templar who's pursuing the boy Feynriel?
I did not realize his name was known so widely. Perhaps you know Arianni from when she was with the Dalish.
We don't all know each other. There are a lot of clans, you know.
Are you a friend of his?
Have you met him? What is he like?
From his mother's description, he sounds much like any youngster we bring to the Circle. Frightened of his gift, resentful at losing his freedom, convinced he is the one exception to our laws. Hardly someone you would wish the power to murder people with his mind.
Thrask already seems like a very even-minded person and a good man.
No young boy should have to face down demons alone.
It is surprising what sympathies mages evoke. I always expect people to be more wary of their powers than touched by their struggles. If we do not find Feynriel soon, it will not matter. Either he will be taken by the demons, or by less mystical predators. And I have said more than enough on the topic. This is a Templar matter, and we will be handling it.
I'm just trying to help, man.
Perhaps I could aid your search.
True. It is surely not in the lad's best interests to turn away anyone who seeks to find him. There is a Templar, former Templar, by the name of Samson. He left the Order due to philosophical differences. He has been known to help mages flee Kirkwall. If Feynriel went to him, Samson wouldn't tell me. He stays out of sight by day, but I've seen him at night, near the entrance to Darktown.
And anybody who pays attention to, well, Dragon Age lore in future games, the word Samson will ring a bell for you. Samson is, well, he's an enemy in Dragon Age Inquisition. So this will be our first glance at Samson for the future. Left the Order for philosophical differences, and philosophical differences, I assume, is referring to the handling of mages, or perhaps something a little less philanthropist. We'll see. See what he has to say for himself. We already crossed Samson a bunch, actually. He's right down here on the stairs.
What do you know? I was told my old friend Thrask was advising you folks to seek me out. You're looking for the boy, right? Feign something. I'll tell you now, there's not much I can do for you.
You seem like you've seen better days.
I'm looking for a retired Templar named Samson.
Retired. Sounds better than burned out husk of a Templar begging coins in the choke damp. They don't do anything to keep you, you know. You join the Order, you're free to walk away. But they're the only ones who got the dust.
He's referring to lyrium.
The dust?
Lyrium, an ore the dwarves mine. Magic in its raw form. You need to drink the stuff to face down the magicers. Problem is, if you ever try to stop, it just about kills you.
Yeah, it's very hard to kick the habit, which is something very shady about the Chantry. They basically use lyrium as a leash. The Templars are free to leave, but they're also heavily addicted to lyrium, so if they want their lyrium and their go-go juice, they gotta stay with the Chantry and do as they're told.
Is it true you give aid to apostates fleeing the temple?
That I really don't like.
The mages I help, they're no more than children, newly discovered their magic and terrified. Barely left their mother's skirts, and now we're saying they got to be locked away for their own good. That demons are hunting them. Do you wonder they run?
Did you meet the boy?
Afraid so. Blighter was dead broke though, not a silver on him. I helped one mageling for free, and I'll never get paid again.
I pity any mage who is forced to rely on you for protection.
I pointed him to a ship captain.
Better they
Reiner.
use you, Anders.
Sometimes he'll take on runaways. Took another apostate last week. Girl I sent him. Might
It's
have
funny the way
gone
Anders
wrong,
sees
though.
all this.
I heard rumors he took the both of them captive instead.
I think a lot of the Templars, like Thrask, are probably... They probably have the mage's best interests at heart, right? Thrask seems like he cares. I mean, he's letting an outsider investigate this just for Feynriel's own good. He could have told us to piss off and say the Order will handle this, but he didn't. He gave us a valuable tip.
Please tell me it's not too late to save him.
Rumor has it, Reiner had the pair of them locked inside a Keys warehouse, somewhere close to Dockside. You want to go looking, you might find the lad before he gets ransomed to the Templars. Or worse.
Yeah. We'll go handle it. At the very least, he's not going to be sold as flesh. That's not on my watch. We'll try and do what's right here, by Feynriel and everybody else in the city. Because it's not just his ass at stake, it's everybody else too, if he decides enough is enough and he's gotta slide into the arms of a demon. That shit, sometimes it's not even necessarily a decision. Dreams are a tricky place. You can get tricked into becoming possessed. We saw that happen inside Origins. If you do the Mage Origin, then the demon will say the biggest threat in the Fade is not demons, it's pre-superstitions. Thinking that you know something when you don't. Presumptions and thinking you see things the way that they are is the biggest threat in the Fade, because you can be very easily tricked into possession. Shit, they won't tell you what their intentions are. You'll just find out. Sacrificial frenzy up a little. Varric, I know you're currently pinning shot, but would you care to dismantle that for me? Fucking walked right into it. That's unfortunate. Come on. Up, gang. Alright, Varric, everything is exploding in here, so... How about you walk around for me? We use the little dwarf to waddle around. Prefer not to lose any more XP than we already did. I think I set off 3 traps though. Poor play, poor play. Not too big of a deal, but 3 traps does actually equate to like 150 XP. So not a huge deal, but it's not meaningless either. I actually quite enjoy playing Rogue in this game. But Rogue is something that's really fun to play only on lower difficulties, really, because they kind of rely on their AoE attacks and their ability to stun and get little
Please, help me.
crit chances off.
Get the hands! I heard they can't do no spells without hands.
And there we go.
You know nothing of magic.
Now, Anders would say here that she had no choice. I sympathize with what just happened there, but I'm not going to say she didn't have a choice. Regardless, Reiner's dead now, so... Varric, you're gonna do that for me. Varric, actually, just keep going, honestly. Demons and corpses. What happens? All it takes is one decision. And I guess she was backed into a corner right there, but I would also argue that she wouldn't be backed into a corner if she wasn't trying to... Yeah, here we go with this fucking shit. Olivia's letter to Thrask. Father, I know the sacrifices you've made to conceal my secret, but I am a child no longer. I cannot burden you my whole life, lest my secret destroy us both. I must live my own life as a woman, and as a mage. It is oddly freeing to write the word. Farewell, Father. I hope you one day make peace between what you have been taught and what you have seen. All my love, Olivia.
Who do you suppose she was? We should see if there's anything here to identify her.
And that was Thrask's daughter, which explains why Thrask has such a seemingly nuanced take. Now, what I was going to say is, Anders would probably argue that that girl had no choice right there but to summon a demon and become an abomination, but that's not quite true, because if she wasn't trying to flee the Chantry, she wouldn't have ended up inside this slave pit, with them attempting to take her hands off so she couldn't cast magics. If she had just accepted her place in the circle, she wouldn't have been here. There is always a choice. You never have to summon a demon and become whatever that was. That's a decision she made, which is a very unfortunate one. Captain Reiner's accounts. 2 barrels of fish, Viscount's Keep. 3 barrels of rum, Hanged Man. 1 male human mage, Danzig, Undercity. 25 Raverni furs, Helton's clothiers. And we have met Danzig before. We know exactly where he is. I clicked on him once before, wondering if we were going to have to give him the smoke. So... And he is a slaver because he's buying flesh, which means he dies a very slow, painful death. My policy on anybody dealing in slaves like that is never going to change in any game I play. He's cooked. We're gonna go show Danzig the error of his ways. Although, fair warning, he is a blood mage, and the blood magic ability, like I already said, you gotta really watch out for, so we'll be careful when we teach Danzig the error of his ways. But nonetheless, we'll still do it. This one can also be a tough fight.
Why, look here, boys. Volunteers. Clap them in irons and let's see what the Tevintas will pay for them.
That's not gonna work for me.
I'd make a terrible slave. I talk too much. And I do that.
Nobody threatens me on my ground.
We'll see about that.
Shut this buck up.
Hey, Danzig, you bitch. Bark, you're gonna pin and shot. Mero, you're gonna stonefist his bitch ass. And Anders is going to glyph of paralysis the whole gang of them. See you, Danzig. You won't be doing that. No blood magic for you, friend.
There's got to be something here that shows where he shipped Feynriel.
Yeah, that'd be the map to the Wounded Coast we just grabbed. Barak, you got a job to do.
Easy as pie.
Easy as pie. Alright, so we know where the next stop is. That's going to be up on the Wounded Coast. I guess they got a cute little slave den going on down there, but Danzig won't be turning up to hand them off to the Tevintas. And in fact, if the Tevintas show up there to take them home, I'd love to be there waiting instead, because I'll send them home in pine boxes. Send them to the rest of their slaving friends. The Wounded Coast would be right here. Yeah, I believe they're in a little tie-in cave. I think it's the cave we've already crossed a million times, too. Pretty sure when we were looking around, we crossed it on the way to... Yes, exactly. It's the cave right there. This was where we saved Seamus. Seamus was down there. We already passed this a couple times. Man, I can't help but again, like... Not to, like, harp on it too much, but this is all... Feynriel, if he would have just said, you know, fine, I'll go to the Chantry, I'll go to the Circle. They can teach me how to hone my abilities at the very least. I won't be able to come and go as I please until I pass my apprenticeship, but at least I'll be safe from demons and have food and water and a roof over my head and 3 square meals a day. Instead, now he's in a slave cave about to be sold to Tevinta to be a double D battery for a blood mage. Can't help but wonder if maybe the original option was the better choice, huh? And it's easy for people to say, well, the better choice would be freedom, but that isn't a choice, is it? That's just something we're making up to the equation. You only have the options you have. You can't just come up with stuff. And unfortunately, we're probably gonna have to tell Thrask his daughter is dead at some point during this quest. I'm just sorry we couldn't get there in time to save her. And I'm sorry she felt like she needed to do all that just to not be in the Circle. Again, contrasting all those kind of opinions from mages with Wynn's opinion of the Ferelden Circle, and I get this is not the Ferelden Circle, but it's not all bad. There are options, and there are also transfers. You can totally be transferred. Look at the rumor we're looking at in the background right now with Barak. He is looking at rumors for mages that did get transferred, actually, from Starkhaven. On you. Get off my squishies. Sacrificial frenzy up. I see this bum ass mage up here. I wanted to see how much damage that did. That's why I let them sit in that. Because he was the last one, so even if it got him close to death, that wouldn't have hurt. Too bad. I just wanted to see how beefy that attack was. So actually, I don't even know if it got off or not. It looked like it detonated, but it didn't do much, so... beautiful. He's another deep mushroom. With a bit of luck, we'll find another piece of lyrium down here so I can start making better runes, like runes of fire protection and things like that. Because right now I just have the like standard runes of protection socketed into my gear, and I would like to put in some damage runes into my stuff. Get some runes of lightning maybe in my weapons, runes of fire protection and resistance inside my armor, because I don't know if you noticed when we were fighting that dragon, but fire fucks in this game when it's used against you. We have fire weapons right now because we have Meryl's staff is fire, so when she uses elemental weapons, it uses whatever damage type the staff is. It's not like Origins where you get to pick what element you use. It just straight up uses the one the staff has.
Take one more step and the boy dies.
Varric, you're a talker.
Tell this dirtbag who we are.
If I were you, I wouldn't be threatening the Viscount's son.
What?
Oh, I suppose you just got a tip from a slaver that he was selling mage flesh cheap. You never thought to ask where he got it? You never wondered if you were buying the Viscount's well-known love child from his elven mistress. The boy he swore to protect, even if it meant raising the entire free marches?
I seek no war with the free marches. Take the lad to his father.
Well, you're a slaver, so you still get to die.
We will, once you're dead.
Damnation! You're no good to me as a corpse. Get down!
Never fear!
He wishes we'd let him go. No version of reality where that happens. On you. Good job, Meryl. Okay, now we actually need people to move. Because they are right on that. Varric, where are you? Anders still died to it. That's okay, though. Where are you, little shitbag?
You would have let him kill me. He had a sword at my throat, and you just... I mean, thank you, but...
You'll know you're alive.
You were too valuable for him to kill.
Is that my choice? Prisoner or slave?
No.
Who are you?
Alive or dead.
Are you working for the Templars?
Your mother sent me.
Huh. Hardly a difference. I can't believe her. My whole life it was all, I'll love you and protect you. Then I have some bad dreams and it's off to the Templars.
You know, he looks distinctly less elven than I was expecting as a half-blood. I thought maybe he'd at least have the ears. You are still technically of Dalish heritage. And you already got yourself in quite a lot of trouble in the city, I think. Let's see.
I'm here to help you, Feynriel.
Why? You don't even know me.
Locking mages up over an accident of birth is unjust.
That's not what I thought he would say. I don't actually believe that.
If I weren't half human, we'd be living with the Dalish. I'd be trained by a keeper, not hustled into the gallows like a bad secret. That's where I was trying to go. See if they'd take me in. I'm as much Dalish as human.
You'd be alone among the Dalish. Even more than a Dalish would be here.
Compared to being held prisoner, or made tranquil, I'll risk being lonely. Look, I know it's different in other kingdoms, but here, no one helps circle mages. Anything the Templars don't like, you get the brand. The Dalish, they've had magic forever. They could teach me. I won't be a danger, I swear.
It will be your humanity that marks you among the people, not your magic. But I think they will take you.
Do you think they would have me?
Was your mother right? Are you plagued by demons already?
I can't say for sure. I have dreams. There are voices in the dreams. They ask me to come, to give shape to the void around them. But the Dalish Keeper is wise. If anyone can help, she can.
Sounds like he's being targeted by a pride demon. What that sounds like to me. I think we can get the Dalish to take him. And given that that is an option, where it wouldn't otherwise be, I'm willing to take that option. Everybody benefits, right? He'll be a better mage with the Dalish than cramped in the circle, where he won't get specific attention. And I think he needs specific attention, given the whole demon thing. He needs more of a one-on-one tutorship to deal with this problem, to not have him become an abomination. And I think the Dalish are the ones capable of giving him that one-to-one. Because the Templars have like hundreds of mages to contend with. We send him to the Dalish, he'll get that one-on-one treatment. And we might be able to prevent this guy from ever actually becoming what Thrask's daughter did.
I know the Keeper. I'll make sure she takes you in.
Then she does not hate humans. Oh, you don't know what a relief that is. I knew she could help me. Thank the creators, you were the one my mother hired to find me. I will forever be in your debt, friend.
So, who's going to tell Mother Dearest? She must be just dying to hear what happened.
Well, she's part Dalish too, so I'm sure she approves. Like, she'll understand that his life might be rough there, and it might be a little bit of an outcast being part human among Dalish, but I'm sure she will think that is a way better alternative than what was going to happen to him had we done nothing. At least I would hope she would see it that way. What do we have down here? Just a pile of bones. Well, I'm still glad we checked. How are we doing on gold, actually? Because I spent a bunch for Kara 56. Yeah, I bought a bunch of tomes and experience tomes from the Black Emporium just to level my people up a little bit. Get some abilities on the tree that we didn't have yet. That's why we have Sacrificial Frenzy now from the Reva tree. I went ahead and sunk that in off camera. So, there we go. Alchemist Protective Handguards. Yeah, I think the way we came in to snag that cutscene was that door, so we checked everywhere up to this point. Man, I'm really not looking forward to my conversation with Thrask. It's a shame that I couldn't save his daughter. I would have, if I could. The fastest fast travel out of this place is going to be that one. Well, left, right, yeah. Yeah, I think sending him to the Dalish like that, given all the extenuating circumstances around it, to be the correct choice. While I don't necessarily agree with the mage ply, I'm not completely closed off to it, and if there is an opportunity for things to be done better, it's good for them to be done better. The only reason I'm so Team Templar is because most of the time there isn't a way to do it better, it's just people are complaining about the way that it is, but they never offer an alternative. The alternative they always offer is, well, freedom, but look what happens with freedom, you know? Look at the Tevinter Imperium. So if you're asking me if the Circle should exist, or the world should be Tevinter Imperium, then the Templars should exist. Every time. There's just not even a question. Would you like to know where your son is?
I do not wish to discuss my
coward. Yeah, fuck that guy. I imagine his mother will be quite grateful about this. She probably understands the two alternatives, right? Let's see. I am pretty confident that the Keeper will take them, though. Doesn't seem like the type to cast somebody away, especially when she's in need of another second, or another first, rather.
Your son has taken refuge with the Dalish.
What? But he is human. They did not even wish me to raise him among them. But they do value magic more than the men of Kirkwall. Perhaps he can have both safety and freedom.
A little bit of both, but neither as an absolute.
But this is a Dalish ring that has been in my family for generations. Please accept it with my thanks.
Fair enough. I think we got a pretty good outcome from that. Where that goes, obviously, remains to be seen. A lot of the quests like that you pick up in Act 1 will progress, and you'll get new parts of it in Act 2 and 3, so... We'll see where Feynriel's journey ends up taking him, but for now, he's in good hands. And I did notice that we got another quest over here, which is an errant letter. Here's a little tooltip about the cross-class combos, but we've already been doing that, so... Alright, Thrask. I'm sorry, I have news for you. That's not great.
We have found neither hide nor hair of the lad, Feynriel. I can only think he has fallen victim to demons or slavers.
I found this. It was addressed to you. It seems to be from your daughter.
My daughter? Then... you know what she is. How she died. When I traced her to that warehouse, I should have forced her into the circle. My own weakness in the face of her pleas is what destroyed her. It is why I urged Arianni not to give in when Feynriel wished to hide. If only I had been so strong for Olivia.
We're not gonna be bribing Ser Thrask here. He's a good man, and he makes a fair point. That's why parents have the hard decisions to make for their kids, right? Because if you give in to what they want, knowing it's not as good for them, it can lead to outcomes like this. There's the fine line between coddling and taking care of and doing what's best for. And like he just said, if he hadn't given in to her demands and taken care of her the way that his heart told him to, and he had listened to his mind instead, she'd still be alive. She'd be in the circle, being watched and taught, but she'd be alive.
You have my sympathies. Do not fear the Templars finding out.
Thank you. She is at peace now. I would not wish to see her name smeared while her ashes are still warm.
Yeah, you won't run into any conflict from me about that, Thrask.
I will not forget.
Like I said, I think he's a good man.
I have told the Knight Commander of your service. She commends your quick thinking and has agreed to keep the lad Karen around for observation.
That's good. Let's see if we can learn something about Knight Commander Meredith here.
I've heard a lot about the Knight Commander. What's she really like?
She is not an easy taskmaster, but it is not an easy task. I would not have liked her when I was younger. I thought mages deserved a softer touch. But Meredith is never fooled by a sweet face. She always sees the demon behind it.
Do you know anything about her upbringing? Let's see. Well, we already know a little about Cullen, but let's see how he presents himself.
You sound Ferelden. How did you end up here?
I was in the Circle Tower in Ferelden when Uldred summoned his demons. I was held in a cage for... I can't even say. Weeks? Months? It was one unending nightmare. I watched what those mages did, what they became. I would gladly give my life to avoid seeing that again.
Good man. You gotta imagine the PTSD and the whole gang of issues he got from what he saw in the other circle.
What's it like being in the Order? Do you feel you're accomplishing anything?
The Templars are not a good choice for anyone who requires a strong sense of achievement. It is a losing battle. Every day new mages are born in Thedas. Every day those born a dozen years ago come into their power. The best we can do is to contain the threat, and recruit more to fill our own ranks when they're emptied.
We actually learned about Cullen in our Codex reading episode 2, so the reason he's in Kirkwall is Knight Commander Gregor, the leader of the Templars in the Ferelden Circle. He found Cullen to be a little harsh, being around the mages in the tower after he saw all his comrades slaughtered. But Gregor thought it was a bad idea to keep him there, basically with the PTSD and the nightmares and things like that. He thought it was a real bad idea to have him around after seeing all that bloodshed, so he actually gave him a transition, basically. He petitioned for him to move to Kirkwall under Knight Commander Meredith, and since he had so much Templar zeal from what he saw in the Ferelden Circle, he rose up the ranks real fast once he moved here. That's why he's Knight Captain now, instead of just a regular Templar Knight. Honestly, in general, I do support the Templars. From everything I know so far, and my general stand on all this, I do support the Templars.
The Templars provide a necessary service.
Indeed.
That's a surprisingly unpopular viewpoint. It used to be that Templars were welcomed wherever they went. for defending people from dark magics. Now the townsfolk are as likely to slam their doors as offer us a bed. The image of the poor, chained apprentice is a powerful one, and one the mages are more than willing to exploit.
Yeah, we got some Merrill rivalry there for our stance on Templar. Surprisingly, Anders didn't shit himself over that. You would have expected that to have been the other way around. Merrill doesn't know anything of Templar, so I'm surprised she has enough investment there to be upset about it. Now we seem to have a letter at Gamlen's house.
Someone dropped off a message for you. It's on the desk.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He didn't do his best to try and read it first.
Thank you, Bethany. I'm glad you're watching him.
I thought there might be something dangerous in
your awesome clinking coins. Yeah.
Your mother's busy writing to the Viscount.
Let's see what we have here. Act of Mercy. Proud scion of the Hawk family. I dare not contact you directly, but we have met before, and I know you to be a good person, of good character and unusual ability. Indulge me in a meeting outside the city, where I require your aid in a delicate task. As a token of good faith, I have enclosed a modest sum. There will be more waiting if you can help. Please come as soon as you receive this. If you do not, the lives of many innocents may be on my hands. Sincerely, a friend. Ominous.
Touching family stories, go to her.
I'm not looking for touching family reunions, Gamlen, I assure you. Least of all, not from you. So we're at 57 sovereigns. We're still way over the line of what we need. This is a main plot. Interesting. We will do Shepherd and Wolves first. But we've actually been going for 42 minutes, so we won't actually have a chance to get that done this episode like I initially wanted. Where does Shepherd and Wolves start? I think it starts in Lower Town at night. Let's see. Yes, it does. And where is Act of Mercy? Is that in the Wounded Coast? It's in the Wounded Coast approach. Okay. So we will do Shepherd and Wolves first. We'll go to Lower Town at night, and then we'll wrap things up. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, you appreciate what I do here, please do check out my Patreon in the description below. I actually started writing full written reviews of games we complete on the channel right now. That includes Dragon Age The Veilguard and Assassin's Creed Shadows, so if you're interested in checking out either of those reviews, or just in general supporting what I do here, then please check that out. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon with more Dragon Age 2. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.